now we move to the network news and details. The Independent National Electoral Commission has announced that the 2027 presidential and National Assembly elections will hold on February 20, 2027, with governorship and state houses of assembly polls scheduled for March 6, 2027. The INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amopitan, disclosed the election timetable at a news conference in Abuja on Friday. He said the action is taken pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, and Section 28(1) of Act 2 mandates the notice of election not later than 360 days before the date appointed for the election.
Presidential and National Assembly election will come on the 20th February 2027. 2. Governorship and State Houses Assembly will be 6 March 2027. The detailed timetable and schedule of activities have been uploaded to the Commission's website this morning and circulated, or is been circulated to registered political parties and relevant stakeholders.
The Commission also aligned the official campaign periods for political parties and candidates. Campaign for the presidential and National Assembly elections will run from November 18, 2026 to February 19, 2027.
I strongly advise to strictly adhere to the timelines. The Commission will not hesitate to enforce compliance with the law. The Commission remains committed to deepening the deployment of technology to enhance transparency in the electoral process, ensuring the continuous cleaning and updating of the National Register of Voters.
That a detailed timetable and schedule of activities had been uploaded to INEC's official website and circulated to political parties and stakeholders. And now a member of the House of Representatives from Edo State, Billy Osawaru, has called for the budget of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to be placed on first-line charge as provided in the Constitution, with funds released fully and promptly to ensure effective planning and execution of its responsibilities. Osawaru made a call at a joint sitting of the House Committee on Electoral Matters and the Senate Committee on Defense held at the National Assembly of Nigeria in Abuja. Organic Victor reports that over 873 billion naira was proposed by INEC Chairman Joash Amopitan for the conduct of the 2027 general elections.
The joint sitting of the House Committee on Electoral Matters and the Senate Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission was convened to scrutinize the Commission's 2026 budget proposal. INEC Chairman Professor Joash Amopitan explained that the sum of 873.778 billion naira would be required to successfully conduct the 2027 general elections. Contributing to the discussion, Honorable Billy Osawaru called for INEC's budget to be placed on first-line charge, stressing the need for the timely and full release of funds to enable proper preparation for the polls.
And now the grand total is 873,778,401.62.08.
If you look closely at everything that had to do with this budget, it even got to a stage where INEC had to start with distributing what was released. So I want to move a motion here, sir, that knowing fully well that it was for a good reason that INEC falls into this category of first line charge, I want to move a motion for a full implementation of the first line charge for everything going to INEC to be implemented as so moved.
Other concerns were raised by the chairman of the joint committees, particularly regarding personnel and the devices deployed during elections.
As electoral process grow in scale and complexity, so too is the demands placed on the Commission, ranging from voter registration and logistics to electoral security, technological department, voter education and post-election review mechanism.
INEC was responsible for over-promising, for saying, making IREF look like a portal where you can start viewing the result on the screen like CNN.
The Joint Committee subsequently approved a motion recommending the one-time release of the Commission's annual budget. From the National Assembly, Organi Victor, ITV News.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Wide Shaib, has charged participants of Army War College Nigeria Course 10 of 2026 to embrace innovation and leverage indigenous technological solutions to strengthen national defense. Defense correspondent John Tainer reports that the Army Chief gave the charge during the inauguration of the course on Friday in Abuja.
The evolving security threats confronting the country are largely locally driven to come from harnessing indigenous technology and expertise. The Army War College Nigeria, a professional military education institution of the Nigerian Army, continues to provide advanced training aimed at bridging the gap between tactical and strategic operations. The inauguration of the Course 10 2026 program is designed to equip senior officers with the skills required to address Nigeria's security challenges and those of the wider sub-region. At the inauguration, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, urged participants to prioritize research and develop homegrown innovative solutions to tackle the complex nature of Nigeria's security environment.
The Nigerian Army will continue to encourage indigenous research and development, deepen collaborations with academic and industrial partners, and integrate homegrown solutions into our operational activities. As operational level commanders, you must play a vital role in fostering innovation in your troops and articulating research and development efforts within your various places of deployment.
Earlier, the commandant of the college, Major General Umar Alikali, described the institution as pivotal in preparing senior officers for contemporary and future security challenges.
The theme of your course, harnessing indigenous technological innovations for enhanced national defense, should guide your engagements and encourage closer study of local solutions that can strengthen national capability. While drawing lessons from other regions, remain conscious of the shared and transnational nature of the threats confronting us. I further encourage you to devote significant attention to the leadership and interagency aspects of the curriculum.
The course, which formally commenced on February 2nd, has 100 participants, including 85 officers from the Nigerian Army, as well as officers from the Navy, Air Force, and allied nations. From Abuja, John Tainer, ITV News.
If you have just tuned in, you are onto the network news on Independent Television. Time now to link you with Chukwufum Naya in our network center with more stories of interest. Over to you, Chukwufum Naya.
Thank you very much, Abigail. Now, good evening and welcome to the news right here in our Benin Network Center. And just so you know, you can watch ITV live online at www.itvradioNG.com/live. Follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at ITV Radio NG. Now, the news proper. Catholic priests, religious leaders, and faithful from the dioceses of Wakari and Jalingo, Taraba State, have strongly protested in Jalingo, the state's capital, condemning the continued mass killings of farmers in parts of Takum, Dunga, and Usa local government councils in the state. Carrying placards of various inscriptions, the protesters expressed frustration over what they described as the seeming indifference of relevant authorities. The protest, tagged a solidarity walk, was held to draw attention to attacks on communities in Chanchangi ward of Takum, where the worst of the violence occurred. The protesters claimed that the area has recovered over 80 deaths within 90 days, according to church sources, while thousands have been displaced and properties destroyed. A spokesperson for the aggrieved persons, the vicar pastoral of the Catholic Diocese of Wukari, Very Reverend Father James, noted that the attacks have resulted in the destruction of more than 200 churches and communities, adding that the violence was a direct violation of the constitutional rights to freedom of religion of affected residents. They gave a 4-point approach to the resolution of the gross security challenge, including urgent mobilization of security personnel to the outlying areas where the attacks are occurring, and articulating all levels of government to ensure security guarantees and bring those responsible to justice through their immediate arrest and prosecution, irrespective of their ethnic, political, and religious affiliations. They ask for concerted efforts to provide emergency aid to internally displaced persons, including food, bedding, and medicine to avert a major humanitarian disaster, as well as key players in the affected areas, including traditional rulers, religious leaders, security agencies, and local government chairmen, to hold constructive dialogue to foster long-term peace and stability in southern Taraba State.
More than 100 persons have been killed so far, several others injured with various degrees of injuries, while over 200 communities and churches have been destroyed, and the residents, numbering over 90,000 Catholics, displaced. The suspected militia who carry out these attacks usually come in the wee hours, mostly while people are sleeping, and launch the attacks, killing anyone in sight and setting houses and harvests ablaze. Have also taken over the entire farmlands of the people and would attack anybody who dares to visit his farm in an attempt to get food for his family.
Now, other senior clerics from Wukari Diocese at the protest were Father Anthony Baturi, Father James Yaru, Father Moses Angian, and Father Augustine Chifu. In another report, the Arewa Consultative Forum has raised serious concerns over the worsening insecurity across northern Nigeria. The chairman of the forum, Maman Usuman, speaking at the 79th National Executive Committee meeting of the forum in Kaduna, described the security situation in the region as grave, devastating, and deeply troubling, warning that terrorism, banditry, insurgency, and kidnapping are escalating across several states. Addressing members of the forum at the ACF Secretariat, the chairman said the region continues to face tragic loss of lives, widespread displacement, and the destruction of rural livelihoods. He cited recent incidents in Kwara, southern Kaduna, Katsina, Benue, and other affected areas, noting that repeated attacks have violently uprooted families and entire communities. According to him, the humanitarian consequences are severe, adding that overcrowded displacement camps, limited access to food and health care, and the disruption of education have compounded the suffering of victims. He also noted that schools in several communities have been forced to shut down due to persistent attacks, while farming activities, the backbone of rural economies, have been significantly disrupted. The ACF chairman warned that travel in many parts of the northern region has become unsafe, discouraging access to healthcare services, markets, and schools. He further noted that insecurity has deepened to such an extent that external military assistance has been required in some instances.
This election season has produced convoluted groups ahead of the 2027 elections. Terrorism, armed banditry, insurgency, and kidnapping are on the rise, as witnessed in Kwara, southern Kaduna, Katsina, Benue, and other locations. The consequences have been devastating, with families and communities violently uprooted and displaced. Repeated attacks and the climate of fear have disrupted education, leading to school closures across affected areas. Rural economies have been severely strained, travel has become unsafe, and access to farming, schooling, and healthcare has been discouraged.
Usman stressed that the worsening security crisis demands urgent and proactive engagement by stakeholders, particularly state chapters of the forum. He emphasized that the forum must move beyond rhetoric and adopt principled, sincere, and action-driven approaches to address the region's challenges. Now, Edo State government has flagged off a campaign against cultism and drug abuse across some secondary schools in Edo South Senatorial District, with a call on stakeholders to take the campaign to the grassroots and ensure cultism is completely eradicated from the state. The Strategic Enlightenment Campaign against cultism and drug abuse focuses on secondary schools across the 18 local government areas. Government House correspondent Kingsley Uchegbu has the details.
The anti-cultism and illicit drug abuse sensitization led by Governor Monday Okpebholo follows the enactment of the Secret Court and Similar Activities Prohibition Law 2025, repealing the 2018 legislation to impose harsher penalties on court-related violence. Governor Okpebholo, represented by his Principal Security Officer, Saturday Oko, in company with the coordinator, Operation Flush Out Kidnappers and Cultists, Idemudia Noah, took the sensitization to Ihogbe College, Oba Kenzo II Senior Secondary School, Edo Boys High School, and others.
Learn to keep good company. Avoid bad friends, because they will lead you to destruction.
The governor has zero tolerance to cultism, and the Cultism Act is in place 21 years, and he said, and he has particularly emphasized on this, that the brilliance where they breed cultism is secondary school.
A resource person, Dr. Chris Okaka, commended Governor Okpebholo for the initiative, urging students to avoid involvement in cultism, illicit drug abuse, and peer influence to enable them contribute positively to societal development.
Tell you they have objectives, it's a lie. Any objectives that kill people is not an objective. Do you know they kill people?
Principals and students in the schools visited commended Governor Okpebholo for the initiative and appealed for the creation of anti-cultism clubs in secondary schools across the 18 local government areas of the state.
When you say no to cultism, you are doing the right thing.
The junior section to the senior section, beware of your friends. Friendship is one thing that can lead you into destruction.
The cultism in any area, we find them fighting or doing things that is not good if you say no to them.
The anti-cultism campaign continues in Edo Central and Edo North senatorial districts. From Benin, Kingsley Uchegbu, ITV News.
Moving on, the Department of State Service has filed an ex parte motion before a Benin High Court requesting for Usaze Adun, popularly called Kapwepwe, to be remanded in prison for 14 days pending an advice from the Department of Public Prosecutions ahead of a proper arraignment for the assault of media icon Dr. Don Pedro Obaseki in Benin City. The case came up on 12 February 2026 at the High Court and was presided over by Justice R.A. Ugbevoye. However, when the case was called, counsel to the DSS brought before the court an ex parte motion requesting the court to order that the defendant, Usaze Adun, be remanded in the correctional center as the court awaits advice from the Department of Public Prosecutions. Leading the defense counsel, Olaiwo La Afolabi SAN, supported by Collins Ogiegbai and 5 others, argued that the matter before the court is bailable in line with fundamental human rights of an individual. He pleaded with the court as he submitted that the bill is at the discretion of the court. The presiding judge, Justice R.A. Ugbevoye, admitted the defendant to a bill to the tune of 5 million naira in like sum with a surety who is resident within the court jurisdiction. The judge further ruled that the surety must be a civil servant of grade level 12 and above. The judge also ordered the defendant to appear in court every last Friday of the month, pending the advice of the DPP on the matter. Recall that Dr. Pedro Baseki was on 28th of December 2025 molested by some youths in Benin City. The barbaric and ugly incident prompted his petition to the Department of State Services. Now, as the Argungu International Fishing Festival continues in Kebbi State, aspiring young engineers are showcasing their innovations at the agricultural exhibition held as part of the event. Correspondent Umar Muhammad, who covered highlights of the day 2 of the event, has details.
The ongoing Argungu International Fishing Festival is gradually gathering momentum as thousands of participants from across Nigeria and beyond troop into the historic town of Argungu to witness the colorful activities. Day 2 of the festival featured an agricultural show, local boxing and wrestling competition, cycling displays, animal skin tanning, and a tug-of-war contest between butchers and fishermen. The fishermen, however, emerged victorious. An overview of the agricultural show reveals the vast agricultural potentials of Argungu and Kebbi State at large. Various farming groups, including the Rice Farmers Association and the Cassava Growers Association, used the platform to call for increased government financial support to boost food production. Beyond crop and livestock exhibition, the event also provided an opportunity for young aspiring engineers to present their locally developed innovations, drawing admirations from visitors and stakeholders. Other highlights of the day include thrilling local boxing booths, cycling competitions, as well as cultural songs and dances that entertained the crowd. Meanwhile, the Kebbi State Commissioner of Agriculture, Alaishewu Argungu, was turbaned as the Sarkin Noma, or King of Farmers of Kebbi State, while Haji Azuera Argungu was also turbaned as Kebbi State Farmers Queen. The festival will continue with the Grand Doba procession and the highly anticipated fishing competition, where prizes ranging from cash awards to cars and other vehicles are expected to be won. From Argungu, headquarters of Argungu Local Government Area of Kebbi State, Umar Mohammed, ITV News.
Glad to know you're still there. We'll take a break and bring you more stories afterwards. Please stay tuned.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Ugemobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Yari yari, Oba Tope!
Welcome back to the Network News on Independent Television. Now, Honorable Richard Usaro Edosa, member representing Oredo West constituency, Edo State House of Assembly, has been commended for providing dividends of democracy to his constituents. The Commissioner of Education, Edo State, Dr. Paddy Yamu, and members of the Edukpolo Grammar School Old Boys Association made the remarks on Friday during the inauguration of the school's ultra-modern administrative block facilitated by Honorable Richard Usaro Edosa. Egusa Abonlao has the details.
There was jubilation at Edukpolo Grammar School compound on Friday as the member representing Oredo West constituency at the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Richard Usaro Edosa, was given a warm welcome during the inauguration and handing over of the reconstructed Edukpolo Grammar School administrative block facilitated by him. Several dignitaries, APC members, members of the Edukpolo Grammar School Old Boys Association, teachers, students were impressed with the state-of-the-art administrative edifice facilitated by Honorable Richard Usaro Edosa. High point of the event was the inauguration of the administrative block by the Edo State Commissioner for Education, Dr. Paddy Yamu, expected to provide comfort for staff, teachers, and boost the academic performance of students. Dr. Paddy Yamu commended the exemplary performance of the member representing Oredo West constituency, Dr. Richard Usaro Edosa.
When power is given to someone who has a heart for the people, who is passionate about the people, it is used for the development of the people. Today we celebrate and we stand with Honorable Edosa to say thank you very much.
In his remarks, while formally handing over the project to Edukpolo Grammar School, the facilitator, Dr. Richard Usaro Edosa, said he is desirous of providing educational facilities to improve education, health care, and other amenities for the people of Oredo West constituency.
My triple-stand agenda included education, health, security, and youth empowerment. Anything that has to do with education is priority for me.
The principal of Edukpolo Grammar School, Benin City, represented by Helen Omoegbe, and members of the Edukpolo Grammar School Old Boys Association, expressed gratitude to Honorable Richard Usaro Edosa.
It was an answer to prayers.
From Benin, Egusa Abonlao, ITV News.
Now, activities marking the final burial rites of Ojeri of Igosa community, the village head, Pa Clifford Amadi Igehon, commenced on Thursday with a befitting lying in state and service of songs. Children, family members, community elders, and government functionaries converged on his residence to celebrate the impactful life of the nonagenarian, which he lived in service to his community. Jolade Ojo reports.
The body of the Ojonwere was conveyed from Old Mortuary to his residence, located at number 13, Iguasa, for lying in state and observance of traditional family rites. The event witnessed the presence of various cultural troops who entertained family members and guests. Children of the deceased, led by the elder son and Okaigele of Iguasa community, Osamede Igehon, alongside community elders and guests, eulogized the late Ojonwere, describing him as a man whose leadership brought development and progress to Iguasa community. They said his legacy of unity, peace, and community advancement would continue to be remembered and upheld.
My father was a great man, a hero. He has been so dear to me. He made me to know that there is benefits in doing good.
My dad was very strict, but when it comes to taking care of the children, he was so good about it.
He was a great man. He was a peaceful man. He brings the children together, both the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren.
He tried very well. If not because of him, we have lost this community. He fights seriously for it also.
It is because of people like Paramandi that we remember when we want to be comfortable, that we have to do more for our people.
I miss him. Where I'm working today is now John Wade that puts me in that position.
He contributed to the development and the opening of Menutos Hotel. He brought me here.
The event climaxed with a series of songs where attendees were admonished to live lives worthy of emulation.
I say live well, because this day must surely come one day.
Late Pa Clifford Amadine Igienho, who passed away at the age of 91, served as the Ojianwere of Igosa community until his death. From Benin, Jola Diojo, ITV News.
Nigerians have been advised to assist the police to ensure the security of lives and property. The Chief Executive Officer, Ocean Portal, Mr. Dixon Usaze, gave the advice while promoting the movie titled Beyond Duty in Benin City. Efosan Wangwe has the details.
It was a gathering of stakeholders in the entertainment industry to brainstorm the way forward in taking it to an enviable height. The CEO of Ocean Portal, Mr. Dixon Osaze, said it's a movie conference with the aim of bringing producers, directors, and actors together to promote the Nigerian police force and showcase the importance of policing in the society as exemplified in the movie Beyond Duty. He said the movie is to enlighten the public on the importance of police in every aspect of human existence.
So it's a yearly program whereby we do a different story looking at the Nigerian police from the positive side. Because like they say, if a policeman or if the police will strike for 2 hours, man, we are gone.
Edo State Police Commissioner Mr. Monday Agbonika, represented by the Command's Public Relations Officer, ASP Eno Ekyodem, commended the organizers and producers, saying it will boost the morale of police officers and spur them to do more in securing the country.
This movie means a lot to us, at the encouragement it comes with, the boost of morale and all that.
The scriptwriter Jovia Oyenyichuku James explained that the movie also addresses the issues of patriotism, infidelity, governance, and personal service. She emphasized that the film questions the sanity of Nigerians and provides a platform of assisting the police in local security, doing the right thing and giving the police timely and correct information to nip crime on the board. A veteran actor, Mr. Zach Oji, said the movie further cements the relationship between the police and the movie industry to better the laws of the society and to provide an avenue to change the people's perception about the Nigerian police.
These films exposes your mind, especially to community policing, the need for us to pay attention.
Ocean Portal are deliberately shooting realistic, relatable stories. It's very commendable.
The event had in attendance veteran actors, filmmakers, movie directors, and upcoming actors across the country. From Benin, Efosa Wangwe, ITV News.
In another story of interest, the Edo State Police Command says it has recorded significant breakthroughs in a sustained fight against crime across the state, with the arrest of scores of suspects and the recovery of arms, ammunition, and stolen property. The Commissioner of Police in Edo State, Monday Agbonika, disclosed this while addressing journalists during the command's end-of-the-month press briefing held in Benin City. Jalade Ojo has the details.
According to the police commissioner, the command has, since January 2026, arrested 87 suspected kidnappers, 14 suspected armed robbers, 13 suspected murder suspects, and 15 suspected cultists. CP Monday Agbonika attributed the achievements to sustained intelligence-driven operations carried out across Edo North, North Central, and other identified flashpoints in the state. He further revealed that several kidnappers' camps located deep within forests have been dismantled, leading to the reopening of routes previously considered unsafe. Within the period under review, the command also recovered 6 stolen vehicles, 3 motorcycles, and 39 mobile phones.
With the aid of helicopters and drone technology, gallant and dedicated police officers have conducted several high-risk joint operations moving from forest to forest. Beyond arrests and recoveries, we have rescued, recovered 5 cult-sized single-barreled shotguns, 28 Dane guns, and 1 Makarov pistol. Not recklessness. Stick close to the command's emergency lines and promptly report any suspicious movement or distress situation.
From the command headquarters in Benin, Jola Diojo, ITV News.
You're still tuned in to the network news on Independence Television. We'll take an intermission now, after which the news continues. Stay with us.
Some days, there comes The Oba of Benin added a colorful mood to the year's celebration as he walks round the city center amidst cheers.
Welcome back to the Network News on Independence Television. Now, in more news, the abductors of 9 worshippers at St. John's Catholic Church, Ojije, in Utonkon, Ado local government area of Benue State, have demanded a ransom of 100 million naira. The victims, comprising women and youths, were holding a night vigil at the church when they were abducted around 2 a.m. on Sunday. According to a family member of one of the victims, who spoke anonymously, the abductors first made contact with the families on Wednesday and demanded the sum of 100 million naira. The source added that during negotiations in the early hours of Thursday, the kidnappers reduced the ransom to 30 million naira. The source further said security agencies have been deployed to the area, but they have yet to apprehend the kidnappers and rescue their people. The Benue State Police Command spokesperson, DSP Udeme Edet, is yet to officially comment on the issue. Now, a 12-year-old pupil has been abducted in the challenge area of Ibadan, Oyo State's capital, in the early hours of Thursday. The incident was confirmed by the Oyo State Police Command, which said the girl was allegedly kidnapped while on her way to school. In the statement signed by the State Police Public Relations Officer Ayanlade Olayinka, the pupil was abducted at about 7:20 a.m. as she alighted from a vehicle that conveyed her to school at a junction leading to the school premises. The command disclosed that the matter was promptly reported to the police and that detectives were immediately deployed to the scene for preliminary assessment and fact-finding. The police also confirmed that the victim's parents have been contacted and are working closely with investigators as efforts intensify to secure the safe rescue of the child. Now, the Labour Party has petitioned the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, over what it described as the complicity of officers of the Nigeria Police Force in the alleged invasion and occupation of its National Secretariat in Utako, Abuja. In a statement signed by its Deputy National Chairman, Ayo Olorunfemi, the party alleged that the FCT command unlawfully took sides in an ongoing leadership dispute by denying members of the National Working Committee access to their offices while granting entry to a rival faction. The party observed that for the past 1 year, there has been all manner of threats by some disgruntled elements in the Labour Party to picket, invade, and occupy the National Secretariat of the Labour Party in Utako. The party alleged that the latest incident occurred at about 1 a.m. on Tuesday when some hoodlums, according to security personnel at the Secretariat, scaled into the party compound to pull down the party's billboards and replace them with those of Nenadi Usman. It says the faction in question is reportedly led by Nenadi Usman under what the party described as a self-styled National Caretaker Committee. According to the statement by Dawn on Tuesday, police officers from the Area Command Life Camp had barricaded the entrance gate, preventing the National Chairman, Barrister Julius Abure, the National Secretary, and other national officers from accessing their offices. Olorunfemi said to the chagrin, police officers from Area Command Life Camp barricaded the entrance gates and prevented our National Chairman, National Secretary, and some other national officers from entering their offices. We'll take a short break now, after which the news continues. Stay tuned.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Emobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Yari yari, Oba Tope! Yari yari,
The Oba of Benin added a colorful mood to the year's celebration as he walks round the city center amidst cheers.
Welcome back. Now, in another story of interest, Nigeria has secured a major strategic gain at the ongoing 39th African Union Summit after securing a permanent seat on the board of the African Central Bank. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga confirmed this at the summit on Friday, highlighting it as a significant milestone for both Nigeria and the West African region. The minister says, importantly, Nigeria has been given the hosting of the African Monetary Institute and the African Central Bank, adding that the development represents a diplomatic breakthrough, mentioning that the move faced initial opposition from some member states. He said it is something that was initially resisted by some countries, so now we have a permanent seat on the African Central Bank board. It's a major success, he added. Now on entertainment, Nigerian singer Innocent Idibia, popularly known as Tubaba, and his wife Natasha Osawaru have publicly dedicated their newborn son in a church ceremony. The intimate but celebratory dedication took place over the weekend, attended by close family members and friends. The ceremony comes barely 3 months after the couple welcomed their first child together in November 2025, following their traditional wedding earlier in the year. Despite the lingering public attention on his high-profile divorce, the heartwarming event sparked excitement online. It's now time for sports, and Solomon Aino is standing by with details.
And on sport news, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, received 3 official bids from Morocco, Ethiopia, and a joint bid from South Africa and Botswana to host the 2028 African Cup of Nations before Thursday's deadline for the submission of expression of interest. AFCON 2028 will usher in CAF's new era of staging the tournament every 4 years. The change was announced by CAF President Patrick Motsepe during the just concluded edition in Morocco. According to Motsepe, the decision is part of a significant restructuring of the continental calendar to best align with an increasingly congested global schedule. The reform will also see the introduction of an annual African Nation League competition similar to the UEFA Nations League starting from 2029. Morocco hosted the tournament for the second time between December 2025 and January 2026, with the North African earning praise for setting a new infrastructural benchmark for the competition. Ethiopia, one of the 4 countries at the maiden AFCON 1957, has hosted the tournament on 3 previous occasions: in 1962 when they won their first and only title, as well as 1968 and 1976. South Africa previously hosted the tournament in 1996 and 2013, while their proposed co-host for 2028, Botswana, has not hosted the competition before. Before the 2028 tournament, the final edition of the biennial AFCON will be staged in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda in 2027. And that's it from the Sport Desk. I am Solomon Aino.
Now here's where we draw the curtain on the network news on Independent Television. I am Chukwufum Nanya Digwe. Thank you for watching. Good night.